The lug of besieged railing company Govia Thameslink Rail, GTR, is to abandon. GTR, that rest Thameslink, Southern and Large Northern, told head execution Charles Horton would stay in position for a brief period to watch the growth of a interim schedule. The RMT told, this rot deductible he was steering system remnant in location. Declaring his retire, Mr. Horton told, I recognize how passengers include been extremely disappointed at the considerable destruction inflicted by the introduce of new timetables. It is the order period to brush management of GTR to a new couple of hands. GTR, Britain's greatest railing deductible, modified the period of each boat train on its schedule on May 20th. Passengers were alerted of destruction up the changes were driven in, but the realization of the new schedule saw several services closed and future cancellations out of any precautionary. The changes struck the Southern Railing, Gatwick Courier, Thameslink and Large Northern networks. On 230 everyday services were remote of GTR's means of communication to do for a more than consecutive schedule, the business told. And Mr. Horton, who will be fried by the House of Commons Transportation Choose Board on Monday near some railing bosses, acknowledged creature detained by his own trains. In a email to personnel, he told, in my type, there was an production-wide fail of the timetabling trial. But in management comes liability, and so I sense it is just order how I move downward. Up my leaving in a few weeks period, I will go on to job in my associate to provide a sleek transmission, as we job to put our rail behind on path and offer our passengers a safe facility one day once again. RMT General Secretariat Mick Cashmoney told, Mr. Horton may now include lost but the rot deductible he was steering system remnant in location and no changing at the top will change how the entire cart case transactions is a fail on each standard. Charles Horton has been head execution of Govia Thameslink Rail with September 2014, possessing previous been operating CEO of Southeastern. He begun his career in transportation at the London Subterranean in 1985, growing to plant services CEO. Mr. Horton excited to Connex Southward East in 2000. He later became operating CEO of Southern Rail of 2003 to 2006, while he excited to Southeastern. Analyze the schedule start was intended to be a new sunrise for commuters of brand new, more rapid trains and more than destinations. Instead of it has been a full mess and lowered in cancellations, intermittent and passenger rage. And now the fiasco has declared its at first sacrifice, Charles Horton. He has been elastic, though recent 1 week he said me same d remain and kind the chaos out, and he withstood blood pressure for very destructive southern strikes above guard rolls on trains. But the schedule start has been so fatal he has fall on his saber. Production source say it doesn't indicate he conducted complete liability, the schedule is an production-wide question. It will all now be object to an freelance overview. The bad news story for the almost part a million commuters on the mega franchise is the will not solve cancellations and intermittent in the brief term. Down there is a lack of path train drivers for London's Centre Tunnel chapter, that could get months to solve. Emily Ketchin, founding member of campaigning team Harpenden Thameslink commuters, told, this as-called schedule how Thameslink is fleeing present is more than love a raffle. Customers' requirement to see management and a fast enhancement to proper the errors how Mr. Horton is outgoing over. Anthony Blacksmith, head execution of occupant guard dog transportation attention, told, passengers will perhaps greet a crisp begin and the acceptance of the problems. A division for transportation representative told, obviously the destruction how passengers include skilled next the latter timetabling changes has been inappropriate and it is order how the production conducted liability for its productivity. We will go on to job close in GTR's management to supply superior services for passengers. Meantime, an freelance investigation will get to the lower of which happened and do certainly that does not occur once again. Bedford commuters told Thameslink services were destructive lives. Katie Marshall told trains were dangerously crowded, and Ellie Jones told human beings were leftward permanent and declining in every sum on trains, in anything to conduct on to. Sunrise woodcutter shepherd told, we cannot go on love the, he's destructive lives, jobs and towns. Else passenger, Fabrizio Gargualo, outlined Thameslink as a impoverished pretext for a boat train facility. Louisa Branson told, I believe how the psychological public health effect on all commuters is a tick bombshell. Human beings are hard to be type and proper to every some, but following length lively days in the town, forbearance in one else is tiring really slim on the means of communication household. I for one fight in creature so upshut and private in my comrade suffers. AACEO and Thameslink time of year card Mount Edmonds are told it had lost for a jest, addition, if the disappointed productivity continues, more than passengers will offer up on the railway and get to the overloaded roads.